Well, on the topic of Vince, this next question was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Luke in the UK. I haven't come across any videos of you, Jim, discussing the Billionaire TED skits. Whose idea was it, and have you any good stories from that time?
Oh, well, whose idea do you think it was? Well, I can't say it was Vince's. It may have been Bruce's. That was right before that I joined the creative team. But the whole goddamn, I pitched him one, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But the whole goddamn deal was Vince was going to take the position that Ted Turner was a billionaire. See, billionaires were heels before Vince was a billionaire. Ted Turner was a billionaire that he couldn't compete with, that was buying in terms of, the pocketbook, the money, because he was just a small businessman. Oh my God, now the worms have turned. And that billionaire Ted was buying up all his talent, and all the guys that worked in the studio in Stamford came up with that and shot the stuff. The Nacho Man and the Huckster and the Mean Gene lookalikes and all that stuff. But basically, that was it. And I pitched him one. I said, you got to do a fucking Beverly Hills takeoff. Come and listen to my story about billionaire Ted, poor millionaire, barely kept his wrestlers fed. And then one day he was looking for some food and came up with the idea, and I can't remember the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. And actually, Vincent, I'm going to write that down, pal. I don't know whether they ever did it or not. But that was it. That's just what that was. And it was, once again, I was never in the camp of mentioning the opposition because I grew up on the fucking Jarrett and ICW Poffos feud, where all the Poffos did was promo Jarrett and Lawler and Dundee, and on Jarrett's show, these people never existed until they came to work for him, and then he made the money off the fucking hot gates for the angle that they'd been pushing for the previous 8 years. But it looked, because then you are at that point being too fucking truth-telling on wrestling in general, yes. But then I had to fall into the same fucking thing when I joined the fray the following year with Cornette's commentary. But tell it, that Hulk Hogan is old and broke down and et cetera and all that stuff. That's another reason why people within the 3 or 4 or 5 year period from 96 to 2001 of the Attitude Era, more people got smart to the business and behind the scenes of the business than ever before. And in large cases, because of the fucking people running the business, and you can't recover from that. So yes, I remember them. And yes, that was what they were doing. And no, I wasn't a fan. I just, if Vince is sitting there cackling over it. So what are you going to say? Ah, Vince, that's great. Yeah.
He even put an ad in the New York Times. It was like, attention shareholders of Turner Broadcasting. Ted Turner, does he have a vendetta against the WWF? Time Warner, beware. Do you remember that?
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. I have said this, I don't know how many times, umpteen times. Vince McMahon is Donald Trump, except Vince is smarter, knows a better speaker, and knows a lot more fucking words. And is more pleasant. But deep down, it's the same thing. He was being put upon by this evil billionaire until he became a billionaire. He was a small businessman. It was being preyed on, just like he put all the territories out of business. But it never, it always applies in some cases or in some way to, they're trying to get Vince. They're trying to get Vince to Vince. But they were trying to get Vince, so in this case, he was right. But
it was hypocritical because he was basically.
But it was hypocritical.
All of a sudden, he's the victim, which was ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous.
It's like suddenly the Sheik turned babyface and automatically thought he was going to get some sympathy because he got some juice. No, you're still the Sheik, motherfucker. How much more evil can you be?
Well, a lot of people, Jim, think that if Ted Turner had better attorneys, he would have been able to completely snuff out this campaign that Vince McMahon was trying to get out there to disparage him.
Well, many people would think that, but I'll guarantee you that I know one barrister, one attorney, one legal eagle that would not stoop to defending a man unless he truly believed in that man's character. I know one legal eagle who only represents honest, forthright, upright, and erect type people. Do you know who that is, Great Brian Last?
Call Stephen P. News. If you need to sue. An outlaw mud show or two. He'll sue the rest.